Most men go their entire lives without ever recognizing the one signal that could have changed everything for them. The signal that flips the dynamic from chasing to being chased. It doesn't come from confidence, looks, charm, wealth, or even experience. It comes from something far more ancient, the moment a man becomes unpredictable. That single shift awakens something in the female nervous system. Something older than language, older than romance, older than civilization itself. Women don't chase certainty. They chase the emotional friction created by not fully understanding a man who radiates value. And this story is the birth of that friction. The moment a man steps out of predictability and into the world of signal dynamics, where desire is not earned but provoked. It's the moment a man stops behaving like every other man and starts behaving like a man with options, presence, and gravity. There is a kind of man who spends his life doing everything right and never gets the results he wants. You know him. You've been him, just like every man has. He is sincere, giving, and consistent. He listens, he expresses interest early, clearly, respectfully. He plays by the rules he was taught. And she smiles, enjoys the attention, and even appreciates the effort, but she doesn't feel desire. Not the spark, not the pull, not the instinct, because desire isn't polite or logical, and it isn't built from comfort. Desire is built from tension. Women fall for men who create emotional movement, not because they choose to, but because biology gives them no other option. This is the story of one man who finally saw the truth beneath her words. He stopped listening to what she said and started observing what she reacted to. When he did, the entire dynamic between them, and within himself, changed. Before the story begins, we need to explore the world that shaped him, the myth he inherited and the lie he believed. For decades, men were told that the path to a woman's heart was paved with kindness, reliability, and emotional transparency. Show her you care, they said. Treat her better than the last guy did. Prove you're different. But women aren't attracted to proof, they're attracted to patterns. The deep subconscious patterns the female brain evolved to follow long before civilization existed. These patterns were forged in ancient tribes, where women didn't rely on words, promises, or emotional confessions. They relied on observation, instinct, and behavior. A man who was always available wasn't valuable, he was idle. A man who didn't respond instantly appeared busy with meaningful tasks, hunting, building, leading, contributing. A man who held steady under pressure signaled reliability and strength. A man who showed interest without sacrificing independence signaled emotional discipline. A rare combination the female nervous system finds irresistible because it suggests capability, not just affection. These instincts never vanished, they simply disguised themselves beneath modern lifestyles, phones, and social norms. But the rules never changed. Attraction today is still governed by the ancient truth: the female nervous system bonds deeper when reward is not guaranteed. Women respond to uncertainty, not chaos, tension, not stress, mystery, not confusion. And he was about to discover this, not through strategy, but through a moment of emotional collapse that became the turning point of his life. His story begins like most heartbreak stories do, with sincerity. He liked her more than he expected, more than he admitted to himself, more than he had liked anyone in years. She was beautiful, yes, but that wasn't what caught him. It was her presence, soft on the surface, sharp underneath. A kind of quiet intensity that made him lean in without meaning to. She carried herself with that subtle confidence some women have when they know they're desired but haven't chosen anyone yet. He leaned in, talked more, revealed more, and tried harder. He did what he believed a good man should do: showed interest, made plans, sent thoughtful messages, replied instantly, complimented her, opened himself emotionally, and waited for her to meet him halfway. But she drifted slowly, silently, subtly. Her messages shortened, her tone lightened, her replies slowed. She wasn't being cruel. She was reacting to something she didn't even understand consciously: his predictability. One night he stared at his phone, feeling that familiar burn behind the ribs. Not heartbreak. Something tied to his identity as a man. That was the moment he stopped chasing her words and started studying her behavior. He noticed she replied faster when he didn't. She initiated when he didn't over-invest. She leaned in physically when he leaned out emotionally. She watched him more closely when he wasn't performing. The more he observed, the clearer the truth became. His availability was suffocating her curiosity. Predictability was killing the tension her biology needed. He made a decision. He became unpredictable in a calm, grounded, masculine way. He didn't announce his change. He simply shifted his rhythm. Shorter messages, longer pauses, less explanation, more presence, but only when he was actually present. Not games, not manipulation, alignment, and almost instantly her biology reacted. She texted first. She asked how he was doing. She sent photos and small invitations for connection, not for validation, but because uncertainty had awakened her ancient pursuit circuitry. Her nervous system leaned in again. Attraction rose quickly, too quickly for her comfort. And then it happened, the pullback. It's the moment every woman reaches when she feels herself falling faster than she can understand. Her nervous system taps the brakes. She needs to regain emotional control. Her replies slowed. Her tone cooled. A layer of distance appeared. A weak man would have panicked. Double, texted, reassured, chased, explained, pleaded. But he didn't. Something in him had finally shifted. He stayed steady, present, neutral. Not dismissive, just centered. This stability changed everything, because a woman's tests are not punishments. They are measurements. She needs to know if his composure is genuine or if it collapses under uncertainty. Many men fail here, but he didn't. His composure held. When she realized she couldn't knock him off balance, something inside her softened. A kind of surrender women never articulate, but always feel. The next time they met, she was different, softer, more intentional, more attuned. She stood closer, her laughter wrapped around him, and her eyes carried that unmistakable glow. The look a woman gives only when she has surrendered the illusion of control. "You feel different," she whispered. He smiled slowly. "Clarity," he said. The word hit her harder than he intended. Clarity meant strength. Clarity meant direction. Clarity meant he was no longer shaped by her reactions. That realization cracked her resistance. She kissed him first, not impulsively, not drunkenly, but because her biology had reached its limit. The tension broke, and with it, the emotional logic that kept her guarded. That kiss was the moment her nervous system chose him. What happened next wasn't luck or manipulation. It was biology. In a world overflowing with instant gratification, rapid replies, constant access, and emotional oversharing, he had become something rare, a man with internal gravity. His presence had calm. His absence had meaning. And she felt it all. She waited for his messages not with anxiety, but with anticipation. She read his words slowly, savored them, replayed them. She wanted his approval even when she pretended she didn't need it. Her nervous system had imprinted on his rhythm. Once a man understands the biology of tension, he can never return to who he was. He sees women differently, not as puzzles, but as patterns, not as mysteries, but as systems responding to signals. He sees men differently, recognizing instantly who radiates value and who leaks desperation. And he sees himself differently, not as someone chasing love, but as someone attracting devotion, not through games, not through cruelty, through rhythm, warmth then quiet, presence then space, attention then mystery. The rhythm becomes the man becomes the signal, and she feels the difference in every interaction. Most endings try to soften the truth, but this one won't. The truth isn't equal or fair. The truth is simple. Women don't chase men who treat them perfectly. They chase men whose value creates tension, whose strength creates safety, and whose unpredictability sparks dopamine. Desire isn't a reward for effort. It's a biological reaction programmed long before modern love existed. Once you understand this, the old game ends. If you want the deeper layers, the timing, the triggers, the behaviors that imprint desire, then subscribe and continue. Because from here on out, you don't compete with other men. You stand apart the moment you walk in. Your silence has meaning. Your presence has gravity. Your absence makes her chase. Learn the signals. Gain for the advantage. If you're ready to step out of the crowd and into mastery, subscribe, share this with the men who need it. and return for the next layer of forbidden psychology. Master the signals, and the world will respond. Drop a comment below with the most confusing signal you've ever gotten on a date. Let's try to decode it together. And if you're ready to finally stop guessing, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell